Litecoin and Bitcoin, big move coming. What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. Hope everyone's having a great day. We're going to take a look at Litecoin, and we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. And at the end of the video, if you stick around, we're going to take a look at that Litecoin or Bitcoin chart compared to the gold chart and see where we're at in that. Also, I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to everybody that's been subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. Really appreciate it, guys. You've been helping the channel grow. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 subscribers today. So, all right, let's get into the chart, see what we're looking at.
1, 2, 3, jump!
All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion, my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or any investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market can be extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind that it's a speculative market, so don't put in more than you're willing to lose. And one more thing I want to add is, even me, everybody on YouTube, you know, if you're watching our videos, don't trade off of what we say. Please do your own research and your own charting. What I do is I give you my targets, and then if you are trading, I suggest you learn how to trade before entering any trades, and know your risk. So with that being said, if you haven't already or you're new here, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand side of the screen. Tick the notification bell, that'll get you notified so you don't miss out when I post any videos. Smash those likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think, guys. Again, I want to thank everybody for all the support, and let's get into the charts. All right, we're looking at Litecoin in the daily chart, and you can see I have these trend lines that I've drawn out here, and we've been sticking in them, obeying them pretty well. And right now we broke this 90 the other day and came back down, broke back through, and now we're testing it for resistance. And if we were to break through, these are my targets for that scenario. And let's go into look at the RSI. If you look at the RSI here, I have these trend lines drawn in here. I can get rid of this one now. But I have these trend lines drawn in here. I have this rising channel that we've been in. And then there's this kind of wedge, a rising wedge I've drawn in with the white line right here. So what I'm looking at is if we come up to test the top of this one again, that's going to probably get us up to that 110 range. And then the next one is around that 123 range. And that's how I'm looking at it through the RSI. Now let's go into the 4-hour. Look at the RSI there. As you can see, there was this symmetrical wedge or symmetrical triangle, whichever you want to call it, running across here, these two white lines that have been giving us resistance and support all along the way. So we broke up out of it over here, broke back down in. Now it looks like we're going to attempt to break back out. So pretty much we got to see what happens here, but I'm going to go into show you how I got these targets now, along with this wedge I have drawn here. Let's take a look at the targets. As you can see, I have this line here, looking at this as a breakout and this as a bull flag. And if we were to break out, well, from where we did break out over here, as long as it doesn't break back through this bottom trend line, we're looking towards. And again, this is only if we break up from here, guys. But that target there is what gets me the 123.24, right in the 123 range, probably 123 to 124 range. And then I have another measured move here, which would bring us to the 110, but there's no guarantees. This is kind of a weird bull flag I've drawn in here, but I measured this as the flag or the pole, and then break out of the flag, and that's what gets us up to the 110 range, guys. So again, that's what I'm looking at now in Litecoin. Now what we do have to watch is we have to be prepared both ways. If you're not preparing both ways, you will definitely be losing money. So looking at this Litecoin, like I said, if we break down below this trend line, you know, our next support, which has been pretty strong support so far, is around the $80 range. But if we break down through that, then we're looking back towards the $72 range. And that is possible that we break down through there. But again, guys, my opinion, I'm still bullish here. I believe we get up to one of these two targets first before coming back down, maybe test some of these supports again. Old resistance become new support. And if we look, we zoom this out a little bit and we look at the targets to where they line up over here. Looking at the 110 range, obviously that was old support become new resistance. Then we look at the 123 to 124 range. Same thing, we had a lot of resistance here. Broke through a little bit over here, but broke right back down. So that's what gets me here. Again, guys, we need to be aware that we could break down from here and come down and test these levels. You know, if we were to break down through this channel, our next support over here would be around 66. If we break out of that, then we're looking at the $56 range. But again, guys, I'm bullish here. This is only my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. So yeah, let's look at Bitcoin. Excuse me. I know the chart's kind of messy, guys, but I'm trying to look at a few different things here, a few different scenarios. I need to move this trend line a little bit. Apologize for making the video a little longer than needed to be. But anyways, I have this orange trend line, and so you guys know how I got it. I just get it from these two peaks over here and bring it up. You know, that could be a big wedge also, but these targets are kind of high, and I'm probably catch some flack for that. These aren't guaranteed, guys. These are just something I'm looking at, and I'll show you how I got those. But right now, as in the immediate term for the bullish side, I'm looking at the $55 to $56 range, somewhere in there. All right, let's see. If we look over here, my 8 EMA, this line right here is crossing the 200 EMA in the daily. If that crosses, if we get the move up in the daily and that crosses, that's going to be bullish, guys. That's going to help push us up even further. But we do have to be aware that, you know, if we do drop back down, I'm looking for support in the daily on the 200 EMA here around the $4,600 to $4,650 range. And if we're to break through that, guys, our next support is going to be around the $4,150 to $4,250 range. And let's go into the RSI on this real quick, see what's going on that. And if we look at the RSI, same thing as in Litecoin, I have this long rising channel here, and we've touched the top right over here in this peak at the 4340 range, and then come back down. But it looks like we're coming back up to touch, and that's what I believe will get us up to, I guess, the 5450 to 5550 range, which will get us the top of this little wedge here. And if we're to break out of that, that gets to be the higher targets, and we're going to look at that in a second. I'm going to go into the 4 hour and look at the RSI on the 4 hour. Let's zoom this in a little bit and move it down. All right, if we look here in the 4 hour, you know, we could also draw some trend lines on coming down here. And if this is to break up, I have the same type lines as in Litecoin here. As you can see, I have the, let me zoom in. Sorry, guys. So I have the rising channel here. I had this trend line here, which we broke resistance, came back down, broke support. I believe we'll come back up to test this again, which would get us up to the 50. Well, let's see. That would get us up to, you know, right around the $5,200 range, maybe somewhere in there. And then if we were to break up all the way to the top, that's where I get these higher targets of 55.23, maybe even higher. I'm going to zoom in a little bit and show you guys that now. Now these targets, like I said, guys, this is only if this breaks here. If we break this $55 or $5,500 range on Bitcoin, then I'll show you how I got these. If I'm looking at this as kind of there's a bull flag pull here that I had measured out from the breakout. And if we were to break up from there, that gets me to the 55.20 range, somewhere in there. And then if we look at, zoom in a little bit more. If we look at this here as our flag pull and this as our flag, the measured move off of that, measured move off of that would get us up to that $6,000 range. It is possible, guys. No guarantees, but I am seriously looking at this 53 area or 5,500 area. As long as this support doesn't break here, this support line here, which we had if we zoom in a little bit, you can see we had a little bear trap, but we bounced off the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. The other measured move I have off this to get us higher is measuring this as the top of the flag pull and measuring this as the flag pull with this as the flag, bull flag. Come out to if we were to break out of that, and that gets me up to the $6,200 range, guys. I know that's pretty bold and bullish, but it is possible. And that would also bring us up, you know, and that's not to say we shoot straight up, guys. It could be a nice, slow, easy move, you know, with some jumps in the middle. But like I said, keep a close eye on this bottom trend line, which is around the, it's moved up now, so around the $4,900 range. And if we look at this 21-day moving average, or 21-day exponential moving average is around the $4,800 area. And if we did break down from this, I'd be looking for the next support right around the $4,450 to $4,500 range. And then after that, I have them marked over here. Let's get over a little bit. I'd be looking for support right around the 4170 range, between 4150 and 4250. I have two support resistance lines here drawn, which would be the top of this. I'll show you real quick, which would be the top of this triangle here, symmetrical triangle. We could come back down and test that, the top of this here. We never really tested it. We kind of blew right up through it. So it's possible that we come back down to this area. But as of right now, guys, I'm still looking bullish here. The only thing that does concern me is usually when we get these bull flags and then another mini one on top of it, we do a lot of times, I'll zoom in over here so you can see it. We do a lot of times, like it did it here, if you can see it. Went up, did a flag pull, and then another mini one, and then a straight down dip. So I want you to be aware that we could be looking at that here, and we could come down as low as the $3,900 range. But again, guys, I am bullish here, and I do believe that we should be able to continue up here. Now, again, thanks to everybody that's been subscribing and that. I really appreciate it. I just want to put that out there. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe, tick notification bell, smash those thumbs, leave your comments, let me know what you think. And we're going to compare the Bitcoin chart to the gold chart that I've been looking at. All right, so this is Bitcoin where we're at now. And if you haven't watched the video, I have this dotted trend line from the all-time high to where we broke down from the 6,000 across, in which we've broken out of that sideways. And from the second peak here, I have this solid yellow line coming down to where 6,000 broke down, and we broke out of that sideways. And then off of each peak here, I drew a gray line coming across, and we'll zoom in a second looking at that. And then, of course, this is the long-term trend line. And then I'm going to flash back and forth to gold real quick so you guys can see what I believe is coming. Flash back and forth, and if you can, you can see the resemblance of the two. And remember, guys, that these charts are all based on human emotions and trading. So human emotions never change. So this, I'm really seeing this being the outcome. Now, if it's going to be, you know, exactly that fast. I couldn't tell you. We may have some more sideways action, but I do want to show you guys that right here in 2003 is what started this off, and this is when the ETF was approved for gold. So I'm expecting some big news, whether it be ETF or, you know, I'm not even sure, but I'm expecting big news, and I believe, you know, this could be happening now, but I don't know that we would go straight up here. It may be more of a consolidation and up, and, you know, but anyways, I do see us going up, guys, and I do think we have hit bottom. We look at the two bottoms of these. Let's look at the bottom of gold, where gold bottomed out here before the big bull run, and you can see the resemblance from Bitcoin and gold here. And if you guys watch other YouTubers and that have been calling, we need a capitulation candle and whatnot. You see here, we never had a capitulation candle in gold. It's you know, it was just drop to the bottom, consolidation, accumulation, and then boom. And we had the two touches on the bottom support line here. And if we zoom into Bitcoin, the resemblance is staggering. We got the two touches on the bottom trend line, and now we're starting our move up here. I'm going to zoom in now and look at those gray trend lines that I showed you, and stick around too. We're going to look at the RSI after this in the weekly and the monthly. It's pretty interesting. So we've broken above this 200 EMA on the daily, and around the 4650 is where we would come back down to touch if you know, we come back down to test that. And if we were to break down from that, guys, you know, we could go down to possibly this bottom trend line again, which would be the 3450 to 3550 area. I don't see that happening, but I could be wrong, guys. Again, this is only my opinion. But I did want to just show you that each one of these trend lines, you can see where we got resistance here, resistance, and then we broke through, come down, tested it for support. The next line for resistance, broke through, come back down, tested for support. And we came all the way up to this line, tested for resistance, ended up getting a bunch of resistance here, breaking through, came up to the next line, got resistance, end up breaking through. And this line didn't give us much resistance. We kind of blew through that. So I do believe it's possible we have to come back down and test this, which could be around the $4,450 to $4,400 range. Unless we break up through this one right at the, right now it would be at the 5,066 range if we break up through here. And guys, this is the this chart is the Bitstamp chart, so the price might be a little different if you guys are following on the Coinbase chart or anything like that. But if we do break up through this, then our next stop in here is the 55 area that it would match up with the other chart I showed you in the beginning. So anyways, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And I guess we'll wait and see what happens. Keep an eye on the chart, guys, if you're trading. Again, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been subscribing and sharing. If you belong to any groups, please share in your Telegram groups or your Discord groups or Facebook or whatever you're on. I'd appreciate it. Get these videos out there. And click the Crypto Savvy logo above my head to get you subscribed. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post videos so you don't miss out on anything. Smash them lights. Leave your comments, guys. Let me know what you think. Have a good day.